Moving along with Scott Mellenby. Craven can't get through the defense of Finn. Puck tossed along by Herkus, came back to Finn, but off him, and a second reaction by Finn was a good one that time. But a stuff attempt by Mellenby, loose at the outside of the goal. Still they scramble for it. It's pinned against the post. Did it go in? And I think Ron Hogarth is pointing, yes it did. Tucknut is angry and screaming. He had it held at the post for a moment, but the Flyers kept playing and may have stashed it home. The light did not come on, but Hogarth may have actually been screening the goal judge standing behind the net.
Well, a couple of things that we're watching here is whether or not Ron Hogarth could still see the puck, because whether Tucknut had it tied up or not, if Hogarth could still see the puck, he wouldn't blow the play down. So down goes Tucknut right there. You can see the puck. Steve Finn of the Nordiques came in, and then the puck went behind. But where is it now? Still banging away at it. Boy, Ron Hogarth's got pretty good eyesight if he could see that from behind. Look at it from a reverse angle camera. See if we can get a better look at it. Both Murray Craven and Pelle Eklund were driving away at it. Whoa, see it jammed against the post? Yes, sir.
Still, they battle for it along the boards. To a side, and emerging McRae just wiped right out by Lottle. Good hit by Pat Murray this time on Wazell. Lottle dumps it along to Scott Mellenby, plays it right back to Yuri Lottle again. Non-stop action here in the first period. Here's Acton able to control, moving in with Murray. A shot, stopped and loose in front. They score! Keith Acton with point number 499.
Just enough speed to get over the line. I don't know whose stick that was, but one of the Nordiques came back with a chance to knock that away. It was a great play by Lottle that sprung Keith Acton loose, and he had Pat Murray with him, but he was in a much better position to shoot. He just put that one through Tucknut. Flyers lead 2-0.
10:35 left in the first period of our contest tonight on Sports Channel. We hope you're enjoying it. Along with Bill Clement, Mike Emmerich from the Spectrum in Philadelphia. Tocchet to center, score! 3-0.
From the reverse angle, you saw Ron Sutter drop to Rick Tocchet, and you know what happened? He tried a long pass to Murray Craven that went off of one of the Nordiques and bounced right in front of Ron Sutter, who had decided to put his head down and go for the net. Watch it right here. There's Tocchet's attempted pass. All of a sudden, Ron Sutter says, boy, look what I found right in front of me. Good little chip shot right over Ron Tucknut's right pad. The Flyers lead 3-0. No sooner have I called the Flyers a team that doesn't score on the rush, and they come out and score 2 goals on the rush. Keith.
Rookie John Tanner will come in to take over for Tucknut now. Tocchet gets the... Oh, maybe there are 2 assists. Yeah, Gord Murphy gets an assist. Craven 2, but gives to Eklund. Now they dump it to the Craven side of the ice. He and Guy Lafleur go in after it, and it's Finn hit hard from behind by Mellenby. Craven's pass broken up by McKechnie, and we're going to have Finn and Mellenby throwing them. And Finn did pretty well.
I don't know. We'll have to get another look at it. They were both throwing straight rights. Hard to tell what landed. Scott Mellenby went down, so the perception is that he lost the fight, but we'll get a closer look at it when we come back. Right now...
And Ken McRae nearly wiped out and then decided to take Kartner with him, and he says that's no good, and Acton is in too, and McRae decided, well, maybe Acton, but I think he's going to get Kartner, although Ron Finn won't let it happen. First period, trailing 3-0, and the puck led on to Lacombe, and a backhander went off of Tanner's glove. Fed around now, and Aaron Broughton given a rough ride by Derek Smith. To the corner, they still scrap for it. Walking loose and heading behind his Hostic out in front. Oh, Smith with a shot, another shot. And getting the second one, or at least a piece of it, was Tanner. Hostic behind tripped up, and the puck comes over to Aaron. Lottle able to creep one back for the Flyers, looking for some room. Played for Tocchet, but his stick knocked down. And so it is Petit once more. Flipping one that Lottle tried to one time, and here come the Nordiques. They've got a 3-on-1. Sakic moving in with McKechnie. Sakic around in front. Score! Joe Sakic with a quick backhander to the top shelf, and the Nordiques have gotten on the board.
You know, this may be the only thing that could hurt the Flyers tonight, the way this first period has gone, is these power breaks. 2 or 3-on-1s. What a move by Joe Sakic. Man, oh man. I mean, he made absolutely no mistake. The natural tendency for a natural guy that's not a gifted goal scorer like Sakic is to pull it and then just to slide it on the ice. But very often the goalie will get his glove down there. You saw Sakic pull it by Jeff Chikrin's stick and wide of Ken Reagan, and then he just shelved
ahead. Craig Berube with it there, just too far for Keith Acton. Acton to the corner, given a hard hit that time by Kimball. Acton with it behind. Tied up by Fogarty, and we have Kimball and Berube throwing it. And Kimball went down faster than he wanted to on this one. 5:38 to go on the first. Again, and this time it has worked out by Howe to Tocchet and then on to Ron Sutter. Tocchet can't catch up to the play, but here comes Howe. Pass up the wing. Howe moving right in, a shot. Oh, and he nearly put it in the short side. There'll be a penalty coming up against the Nordiques and a holding call. 4:05 to go in the first. Flyers have scored 3 times here, and the Nordiques once. Kjell Samuelsson working with it. 23 seconds before the teams are back at even strength, though not full. It's a 4-on-3 attack, and Petit yanks it back across. Sakic drives, score! Joe Sakic with a bullet. Whether Sundin got it, I don't know, but it didn't sound like that there was any tip at all, that it was just clean to the back iron, and so the Nordiques have gotten to within 1 in this contest.
Boy, the Flyers are going to have to get a handle on Joe Sakic right away. Nice play by Michel Petit. Ron Sutter decided to rush Petit, and as soon as he did, Petit put it over to Sakic. You may have noticed that Sakic had his head up all the way on this shot. Look at him, looking right at his target. Very few guys will do that. Most of the players in the National Hockey League will look down at the puck just when they're stroking it. Not Sakic. He had a target lined up all the way.
Nut to the corner. Still they battle on. Loose puck poked free by Craven. And fed behind now to Joe Cirella. Bank back off to Wolanin. Wolanin turns it along to Cirella. Flyers with 5-on-4 and a power play now. Ahead they come, and rushing in is Loiselle. A chance to tie the game. He scores! Claude Loiselle with a shorthanded goal. And the Nordiques, after yielding 3, have gotten 3 of their own. Still in the first period, the game is tied at 3.
Well, this is obviously a tough night for the Flyers emotionally. They've made some key mistakes at some key times. That was generally the case last year when they played the Quebec Nordiques. The one thing you can't allow the Nordiques to do is to suck you into the whirlpool of their style. And that's kind of undisciplined, sort of wide open, not much contact out there. They're not a real physical team. And this team took 3 points.
Brought right back on again by Cirella. Stepped by one, couldn't get by Lottle. Lottle can move it ahead to Mellanby up the wing. Scott Mellanby drops to Lottle. Shot! Blocked out. And then Tanner not flying. And there'll be a penalty coming up, and it's going to be against the Flyers. With a pass for Fortier, and he'll go to the corner away from Kartner. Given a rough ride by Kartner, and there to get it is Herkus with a man in front. And it was blocked away by Murphy. Waiting right at the front door was Deflois. On now as Craven hands back over for Acton, a backhander. And that one is caught and then held. And a stoppage of play as they're ahead of Montreal 2-1 in the second period now. Toronto and Chicago still scoreless in the first. Later on, St. Louis, Calgary. Sutter around in front. Puck checked away by Tanner, who's lost his goal stick. And we get a stoppage of... Tried to hook one over, but it came over to Pelle Eklund. To the back now to Kartner again. And Kartner back to Eklund. Then to Kartner once more. Murphy hands to Craven. Shot directed away by Cirella. Another shot. Score by Kartner.
Well, this wasn't as pretty as the Flyers wanted it to be because it hit a skate and went to Terry Kartner, but right now they don't care. And Terry Kartner sure doesn't care. That's a reverse angle look at it. From up high, you'll see Murray Craven get the puck. Now, he'll actually try and take a shot, but it hit a stick of Joe Cirella, went over to Terry Kartner. And I got to tell you, that is a hard puck to approach for Terry Kartner. It's coming across his body. And to one time it coming...
If they can take 2 points out of this one. Waddle handing it back over to Jeff Chikrin. Chikrin just taps back off, misses for Ron Sutter. Finn passed ahead and really freight train. That time was McKechnie as they score! Back down ice, and Joe Sakic set this one up for Matt Sundin, and the game is tied at 4.
Boy, he made it look easy. But remember in the first period, I said that the Flyers had to be careful of power breaks. Forget about the 2-on-1s and 3-on-2s. Well, that's what they gave the Nordiques on this one. Two of their most gifted players, Sundin along with Joe Sakic, and Sakic is their most gifted offensive player, teamed up on it. They made it look easy, too. Sakic to Sundin, boom, wide open net by Ken Reggett. Ken Reggett was hoping that Yuri Lotto would play the pass.
Craig Wolanin will go back to get this one. Hammered from behind by Horacek. The two of them go down in a heap. Puck fed back to Murphy, but off the market, so Murphy has to drop back, and here's a chance as the Nordiques move in. Huff over for Herkus to Lafleur. Loose by Reggett. Diving play by Howe, then dumped along by Mellanby, followed up by Pelle Eklund, and Eklund just flipped one that ricocheted off Sorella, and then a chance for Sakic, who moves in. His shot is flipped high by Reggett, then he dives against the back of the goal to catch it, or it might have popped down. A backhander, and just didn't have enough control. Now it's tapped on by Tanner. Nordiques can't get out. Lacombe fires, scores!
Well, if you don't think hard work pays off, check this out. Great forechecking by the line of Postic, Smith, and Lacombe, and finally Norm Lacombe found it on his tape. A big break was the fact that Steve Finn, number 29 to the Nordiques, is without a stick. See him coming out here towards Lacombe? He's got nothing to poke check him with, nothing. He is everything in one package at the age of 17.
Wish the Devils have a shot at getting him without even having to miss the playoffs to do it. Ahead now is Huff, eyed up by Chikrin. Huff goes behind, centers one along. Lafleur was stoned by Reggett. That's twice. There by Loisel behind the net. It is Mellanby centering, and that one knocked loose by Tanner. Backhander in front, and then Murray trying again. Off of Loisel, still a scramble at the front, and they can't get it by. We get a stoppage of play, and we may wind up. This one shoveled wide. Reggett punched it behind. Lafleur out in front to Huff. Chased off by Sutter. Loose puck shot by Herkus, and Reggett got that one. Herkus tied up by Sutter. Partner there, shoved to the bench. Herkus moving in. Shovels one that sailed wide. 4 seconds to go. Sundin behind to Herkus, who tried to center. The game is over. And the Flyers have won their 5th straight contest and have moved into a first-place tie with the New York Rangers. They are 2-0 in one-goal games this year, and that, again, a far cry from the sub-500 record they had in that department last year.
Boy, it looked like it was going to come a lot easier than it turned out.